Let's get some experts in. We have Sarada, Bhushan, Mohanty of Indian Rare Earths with us. We also have Nagarajan, Mahadeven of Entellus Industries. Gentlemen, great to have both of you here. Thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Mohanty, if I can start with you, sir, and same question I'll ask Mr. Mahadeven as well. You know, we've stopped talking about rare earths as we came towards the last few months of 25. Has the supply started, or has Indian industry and especially the Indian auto industry made other arrangements? Because I mean, I don't recall any big breakthrough with regards to supplies resuming from China or anything of that sort. What's happening? What's the current state of affairs, Mr. Mohanty?
Yeah, currently, thank you very much for the opportunity. Even actually, currently what has happened is this export restriction from the Chinese side with the end user restrictions. So with the commitment that it will not be used for certain kind of purpose, this has already been, some of the companies have already started importing. Some quotas are getting released. Although these quotas are there, but it is the process is a little bit slow. And some of the companies are already getting it. And particularly EV sector, they are getting the material.
Mr. Mahadevan, same question. When I asked alternate arrangements, I meant through, maybe not from China, but basically, what's going on according to you? Current state of affair.
Well, speaking a little bit into the details of the supply chain, I should say India has complete capability in terms of upstream, which is ores down to the oxide, which is the thing which goes into making metal alloy and then into blocks. And finally, you have the value add or the downstream, which is components that goes into electric vehicles, etc., etc. To answer your question, supply has started with reference to my co-panelist, Mr. Mohanty's rare oxide supply to us and to people in the industry in India, namely Ashwini as well as Midwest, I presume. Now, conversion of this oxide into metal and alloy on a commercial scale, we have achieved. And we would go into large-scale production probably at the time in the next calendar year. Speaking of downstream, yes, a lot of imports, only imports are happening. And the trigger point being the Chinese ban sometime in April this year, which brought awareness of the auto industry's complete dependence and also various electric vehicle associated industries' complete dependence on this rare earth permanent magnet. Right. So the focus was being worked on for 2 years, the incentive program. So brought a bit of the whole thing.
Right.
And what panned out is the 7,230 crore incentive. In simple terms, supply started at downstream. Midstream capabilities are there. Upstream has to be worked on completely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm a little curious about. Mr. Mohanty, I wanted to know when you're in the heat of the crisis, there is commentary coming from across the board, and they are in a rush to go ahead and secure our future supply chain. But now that things have eased out a little bit in terms of import availability, etc., do you believe that the momentum which started in the heat of the crisis still continues, or that has fizzled out a little bit?
So actually, the momentum what was there earlier, so that has definitely got affected. But the point is, it has developed one of the necessities, the mother of invention, this kind of situation. Once this kind of restriction was been made, so all over the world except China started looking at the production of this magnet outside China. So on that basis, the government of India come up with this, the MHI released its the scheme. So 7,280 crore. So that will be really a game changer. On top of that, people have started looking at this alternate arrangement of this rare earth magnets. So on that basis, all over all the countries, starting from Japan to Germany, US, all those countries, they are trying their best. And similarly, the ecosystem in India is going to be developed. And now the industries, particularly when those countries which are having the technology like Japan, Russia, Germany, and the US, and South Korea, they are the talks are going on, and in that basis what is looked after is in India's capability the making
Yeah.
of metals.
Yeah.
So from up to metals, they can
Mr.
collaborate.
Mohanty, Mr. Mohanty, I mean, sorry, I'm coming in over there because I'm glad you brought up that scheme, and we now have full details of this government scheme. The details were released only 2-3 days back. So I just want to take that up point by point. Indeed, the total outlay is about 7,200 and I think 50 odd crores, like Mr. Mohanty mentioned. And the details are as follows. There is going to be a sales-linked incentive worth 6,450 crores for production of 5 years. And the total capacity that has to be set up for rare earth magnets is 6,000 metric tons per annum. And this is to be distributed across 5 beneficiaries through a global competitive bidding process. There's also a 750 crore rupee capital subsidy for setting up these manufacturing facilities. Now, on paper, all of this sounds great, sir, but you tell us operationally, because I remember our last conversations, you said the issues are of technology, and you said that having certain technology tie-ups might be very, very critical. The issues were of certain type of inputs which are required. We might have the reserves, but we need the refining capacities. We require the other additional inputs to convert these reserves into usable rare earth magnets. So I'm not sure if the scheme addresses some of these operational challenges. Your thoughts?
See, basically the scheme is talking about it is inviting 5 different investors will be coming up to maximum to 1,200 ton of magnets can be provided. And minimum is 600 ton and maximum is 1,200 ton. By that way, 6,000 ton, which is the requirement, current requirement is around 4,000 ton. And by 2030, somewhere the 6,000 metric ton, whatever magnet will be produced, it will be consumed in the market itself. So particularly the preparedness of the market regarding the inputs. The inputs, particularly this dysprosium, terbium, which is the heavy rare earth elements, these are not available in India.
Yep.
And this has to be imported currently. And India is also looking for like this hard rock resources. Hard rock resources is having this dysprosium and terbium. But that process will take little time. So in the gestation period, it has to be imported. So that is the one aspect. The other aspect is regarding this scheme, particularly if you see actually this NdPr oxide, we are supplying at the Chinese price, whereas this magnet price at China in India, if it will make it as per our calculation, current market cost it will be around $102 per kg, whereas in China it is $78 per kg. So there is a clear disability available in this around $24. So that alone, and as well as this depreciation, as well as the interest finance cost, because in Chinese capital cost and as well as their capex requirement will be lesser than.
So, sir, I'm sorry, we're running out of time. My simple question to you and the same question to Mr. Mahadeven is, the scheme says that over the next 5 years, we should be able to produce 6,000 tons of these magnets domestically. But given the concerns around inputs, technology transfer, etc., that Mr. Mohanty is highlighting, does this look like an achievable? The intent is great, but does it look like an achievable target? Just very quickly, Mr. Mohanty, and then I'll come to Mr. Mahadeven.
Yeah, can I come in?
Yes, please.
Actually, technology particularly, there are so many countries are there, like Japan is one, then the South Korea is there. But the technology is heavily guarded. They are just the wait and watch thing is going on. The discussions are on. Like Entellus, Mr. Mahadeven will throw light on this because they are making this this powder magnet. So in the powder form, they are making it. So if they will tie up with these technological providers or like Ashwini Magnets or this Midwest, they will make up to the level of metals. So if they will tie up with these companies of India for making of the metals,
Sure.
and from metals to making of the alloys and
so let's ask him. Let's ask Mr. Mahadeven. Mr. Mahadeven, sir, ambitious program. Is the money that's been put up, the capital outlay, is that enough? And then the program says that over the next 5 years, we should be able to produce 6,000 tons of these rare earth magnets, starting from the oxide level all the way, up to the final product. Does it look feasible?
It does. It's not 5 years, if I can correct you. It is 2 years of gestation plus 5 years, which goes into production. So the span is 7 years.
Okay.
Right. And 2 years is adequate time for people to convert the oxide, which is the upstream delivery level, down to the midstream product, which is exclusively technology, know-how, HR intensive. We are very confident that this would happen in the country, and there is a lot of forums and a lot of academic as well as research institutes are working on it, and also the government in different forms like Technology Development Fund and Technology Development Board, as well as NCMM, which is National Critical Mineral Mission. They're also putting this to happen. So in the 2 years' time, I'm very, very confident that the gestation would be over. In fact, Entellus is confident that we will be in about a year's time getting into the sintered REPM's time to take advantage in the second year. The policy is not completely out yet. There are a lot of things, details, finer details that one has to look into to answer it in terms of what kind of tie-ups. Tie-ups are extremely important with Indian or overseas entities is very important as part of the game. And this incentive is given at the push, and we've been in the industry now for 3 years, and prior to that, I've worked particularly on this particular industry for more than 4 years, along with my colleagues. People who are not willing to listen to India, subsequent to the incentive being declared, are very open and very willing.
All right, gentlemen, we'll have to leave it at that. Unfortunately, the audio is a little scratchier than what we'd imagined for it to be, Mr. Mahadevan. But Mr. Mohanty, Mr. Mahadevan, I'm sure this is a conversation that, calls for a bigger discussion, and it will continue. It's not something that stops with the calendar changes. So we will promise to have this discussion once again and take on a better line, and, at a time when we'll have a little more data to, ask you on the real situation on the ground at that point as well. Mr. Mohanty and Mr. Mahadevan, wish you both a very happy 2026.